Hey there, so today we have another review. This is another review of Fathead's Headhunter. I actually had a little bit of this beer already available, but thought it'd just freshen up with a can. So if you want to skip the review, go ahead and skip. A couple conversations about this. First off, Beer Advocate. I used to be actually hugely into Beer Advocate. I literally wrote a review of every beer I had for oh my god, hundreds of beers. And then I actually just jumped off of Beer Advocate because it was a dying site, blah blah. I didn't really check on it, and it's still apparently quite lively. They actually found my video of my first of this, the greatest beer of all time. And if you guys watch a video, you understand what I said about it. And I think people just read the line of this is the greatest beer of all time, and didn't really appreciate what I was trying to say. What I try to say is that this is objectively one of the best beers of all time. You win 6 World Beer Cups / GABFs, win gold in a row in 2022, 2023, in the hardest category of all time. No offense to Allagash White, which crushes it. That might be the greatest beer of all time. It wins it medals for everything, no matter what. So that might be the greatest beer of all time. But what is the greatest beer of all time? I'm just sharing with you what I like and don't like. These are all subjective opinions. But objectively, I'm not telling you anything. Objectively, there's no greatest beer of all time. Objectively, is Snow the best beer of all time? That's a Chinese lager. That is the largest produced beer of all time in the world right now. It's a Chinese lager. I've never had in my life. Or is America, the great selling beer right now is Modelo Especial. Is that the best beer? No, I wouldn't objectively say that, but it's the best selling beer. Or do you go Untapped and go to side project MJK, which is a beer that a few hundreds to maybe 1,000 people have had. How many people have had MJK 2021 with the insane rating? I don't know. So maybe thousands at best, not millions for sure. So what is objectively best? I don't know. I just share with you what I like, and my opinion is my opinion, and it's all subjective. I'm never going to tell you, well, I'm going to tell you my opinion. This is better than that. That's my opinion, and that's what my channel is. So I'm not stinking people's enjoyment. People posted Sierra Nevada Pale is the greatest beer of all time. Guinness is the best beer of all time. Celebration of beer. Whatever. Enjoy your beer. I enjoy my beers. And I'm not trying to sit here and tell you what is the greatest beer of all time. There's no greatest beer of all time. That's the sentence. There's no greatest beer of all time. Stop coming to me about that. I just wanted objective standard. And at objective standards, this is dumb what this beer has done. Jesus Christ. I hate that I had to pull this out because people are just commenting if they didn't listen to the video. Anyway, I'm done past that. So post in comments below if you want me to stop doing these Headhunters. But I have Headhunter 5 weeks fresh. Yeah, it's dumb. And I'm really excited to dig back into this beer. So the beer actually has a little color to it compared to the other beers in the big hoppy family box. It comes in a medium gold color, crystal clear, wonderful fluffy white head. So the cool thing about this beer is that a lot of these beers are very mosaic heavy. What do we got here? Not that one. Hazy IPA. Very mosaic heavy. Very mosaic heavy. This is in the middle. This beer definitely relies on mosaic, and it's a very specific hop that has very polarizing opinions, but also is just a very bombastic hop. If you pick really good mosaic, it just shines. It's hard to not notice it because it's such a unique. This beer actually puts mosaic in a little really right place. You get the really beautiful tasting notes I was getting from Craft Beer Brewing. The anyway, best beers, blah blah blah. Pear drops, this candied note with grapefruit peel. It comes with this little bit of mosaic heaviness. So it's like grassy, a little bit dank. And actually found in the hops, I think it's like Citra, Centennial, Chinook, Mosaic, and something else. Yeah. So I love doing this with beer. Like, just if you can get a really good beer, just drink one of it every week. Maybe do it every day. I don't care what you would do, but I feel like it's a little bit more important, spicy if you do it every week. And so I'm doing a review every week for you guys. So beer is bone dry. The gravity is actually not that low. It's like a 10-10 beer for you guys that are homebrewers. Otherwise, Plato's like 2.7. It's actually not that objectively. Yeah, for a 7.5% beer, yeah, it's actually very dry. But so okay, fine, it's dry beer. It also has a lingering bitterness. I've gotten acclimated to the bitterness because I just reviewed this guy, and it's been hoppy night tonight. So, but in general, this beer is very bitter and hoppy. So, part I want to talk about these things is that the malt is complex. From what I understand, a lot of breweries are just doing lean, clean. Pilsner and two-row, just let it rock. I listen to podcasts with like Green Cheek and Russian River might have a more complex grain bill, but they actually cut back. So Pliny Elder that you're tasting or Blind Pig that you're tasting is not the same recipe that they used to do. Every recipe has had to change, like with all your legacy brands. So anyway, talking about this beer, there was actually like 5 or 6 malts in this beer, and I feel they built a really nice body with this beer. Not in the sense that it's sweet, but it has a texture to it. Mouthfeel. For a dry, bitter beer, mouthfeel is super important. And then the other thing is the echoing hop character. Some of the greatest descriptors for a world-class IPA is when you go like this. When the hops sing and they just like the hops, I think it's oils or something, they just keep going. And like it hits this and it goes like that and goes like some beers can be relatively bitter and hit on the palate. Hazy IPAs, they can be more distracted by the wheat notes and all that texture and thickness and sweetness. Here, we're relying on trying to build body, like texture on a beer that ends up very bone dry. I can't think of an analogy, but like if water was thicker than water, if that makes any sense, right? Water can be very crisp, drink water, but there's body to things. And to create an aqueous kind of watery body and dry beer with texture with the beer is fantastic. Now we talk about hops. So the beer follows like the nose. It has this grassy, greeny thing going on, a little cilantro-ish, grassy green, jello character. Also follows with a little bit of candy, grapefruit pith, citrus pith, lemon peel. Yeah, it's great beer. Like it echoes hops. Like, Heady Topper is a great example of that. Yeah, see, this is a great beer where I'm super jealous of Ohio drinkers that you can just literally find it on the shelf and just go like this. Lean, clean, bitter, very bitter. The bitterness is actually very intense. And it has a little bit of this phenolic tone that I got from the Stone IPA and the OG Ruination from Stone. But go like this. Oh, I get texture and body. It goes woof. See, they're different. I mean, think about it. This mouth holds only this high, open, and then you go this, and it just embellishes your palate. Creamy mouthfeel. Wonderful sweetness to the beer. It's a bone dry beer, but it has a texture and sweetness to it. This is fun. This is fun. 100 out of 100. Maybe, again, not the greatest beer of all time, not my favorite beer of all time, but I'm happy to re-review it. This is objectively one of the best beers of all time. That's all I can tell you. And I like it. Sorry, 100 out of 100. I really like it. So, fun beer. I'm really enjoying the fact of sharing a beer with you guys that is so good that I can just like go 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, learn about the beer. And I think that is one of the great things you do with beer. You know me, I do beer reviews and I just do 1-1s. Like, you know, I never buy a 6-pack, but this felt important to me. And I thought it was a mission to enjoy the beer. And I am enjoying it more and more and finding more and more complexity. And I think that's a great move to do. I mean, you're not going to find much complexity in, you know, like how I rate, like an 80, 85 beer, like whatever. Like you're going to enjoy it and whatever. But when you really find enjoyment is when you get to the the A and A plus beers. Drink them again, try it out again, and just find more and more things that make the beer great, because it takes time to really like enjoy greatness of a beer. The one time is only so good. But until next time, cheers. If you're lucky enough to get some of this, try it out. Fantastic, 100 out of 100. Sorry for the rants. Cheers later.